Welcome back to American Long Haul. This is Wick again, and on this channel, I share trucking tips, tricks, and my real experiences on the road. If you're new, make sure to subscribe and ride along with me. I don't sugarcoat things, I show you exactly what trucking is like, the good days and the bad days. In my last video, I showed you a Florida delivery where things didn't go as planned. I had to cancel my backhaul because the unload was all by hand instead of a forklift. By the time they finished, my window for the pickup was gone. So today you're riding along as I go for my next load. We'll head into a sugar mill here in Florida, get loaded, and dealing with some heavy Florida rain, and also wanted to talk about something that affects us all, cheap freight. Why it's such a problem and what we can do about it. My day started with a shower, then I grabbed a hot coffee and got myself a quick breakfast taco. For me, that is a foundation. Out there, you can't control the traffic, you can't control how long you'll have to wait at the shippers or receivers, and you definitely can't control the weather, but you can control how you start your day. So I always try to start clean, caffeinated, and fueled up, ready for whatever the road throws at me. It was a beautiful morning, and I was ready to go. Today, my pickup was at the sugar mill. Now, if you have never been to one, these facilities are massive. You'll see rail tracks cutting right across the lot, trucks coming and going nonstop, and stop signs everywhere. Places like this can be overwhelming if you let them. But the key is patience, like I always say. Patience is the key to many things in trucking. Slow down, follow the rules, and you'll get in and out a whole lot easier. So it was a small town about an hour east of Fort Myers, Florida, where I had to pick up. So when I rolled in, I checked in at the guard shack with a lady, and the guard shack lady was very respectful. She gave me the instructions and told me the rules of the facility. Inside the mill, they're very strict about safety. Every single stop sign means a full stop, no exceptions at all. And it makes sense. With all the rail crossings and heavy equipment moving around, they just can't afford any risks. After driving in the facility for a couple of minutes, about close to a mile, I joined the line of the trucks who were waiting for their turn to pick up the loads. And if you've been in trucking for even a little while, you know this part, the hurry up and the wait game. The good thing about booking a load a day prior is can get there early morning and then you don't have to wait as long as you would have if you show up late in the day. The check-in process was pretty simple and the employees were very helpful over there. At the check-in window, the clerk instructed me to beckon into door 7 whenever it gets empty because they were already loading some other truck. After waiting for about 20 minutes, the truck moved out of there, so it was my turn to back up. I swung around to back in, I lined it up clean, got back in tight, and just like that, it was loading time. A tip for newer drivers for the back end: before you even move, make a map of the whole area in your mind. Picture where your truck is and where your trailer is, and where you want it to go. Always be aware of your front tires because they always swing wide, and your trailer tires because that's what you're really guiding. Know the size of your trailer, how much space you got, and what kind of obstacles are around you. The more you practice, the easier it gets because your mental map gets sharper every time you practice. So take your time, make that map that I'm talking about in your head, and backing will start to feel natural with experience. Loading went smooth and quick, no issues, and that's always a relief because you never know what kind of delays you'll get into up ahead. Then I headed over to their on-site scale, and let me just tell you, I love when the shippers provide the scales. It makes your life much easier. My weight came out legal, everything looked good, so I knew I didn't have to stop at a cash scale, especially to check my weight. And that's time saved, money saved, and stress saved. Thank you to the shippers who provide on-site scales. Once I was rolling out, I stopped at a Lowe's truck stop to grab some food. Since I had already scaled out and I was legal, there was no need for me to scale again. But by the time I came back to the truck, I started getting notifications on my phone about a heavy thunderstorms on my way ahead. I could see the skies changing to dark by minute. That's Florida trucking for you. 1 minute is clear, and the next minute you're in a downpour. The rain stuck with me for a bit, and visibility got pretty rough. When that happens, you just gotta ease off of the gas and give yourself more room. Keep it steady. You can't drive in a storm like you drive in clear skies. That's how accidents happen. Not long after that, I rolled through the way station and got the bypass. Yeah, always a great feeling when you see the green light or the bypass and just keep rolling. You know, if you're a trucker, what is the feeling of a bypass? Most storms like this, they eventually pass through and everything becomes clear. So it's not gonna affect your schedule that much if you drive really fast in a storm and then end up getting into a bad situation. So I would recommend drive slow in a storm and then you'll pass through it. Today I wanted to talk about cheap freight. It's been on my mind for last couple years. I just didn't know how to communicate with a lot of people, but now since I'm making videos, I want to talk about such things. So I know a lot of you watching deal with this, especially if you haul out of states like Florida. Backhauls are already tough and they don't pay much. And when you're sitting, it's tempting to just grab whatever you can to get moving. But here's the problem. When too many of us take these dirt cheap loads, brokers see it. They realize they can keep offering lower rates because someone will always bite. And that drags the whole market down for everybody. You need to know that your truck costs money to run. Your time has value. Your labor has value. When you run for pennies, you're basically paying it out of your own pocket to move someone else's freight. You need to trust me. I've been doing this for 13 years, and I'll tell you over and over. Sometimes the best move is to wait, or you can deadhead out to a better lane where the money actually makes sense. It stings in the moment, but in the long term, it will pay off. If more drivers stood their ground and refused to move for nothing, the brokers would have no choice but to raise the rates. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but that is the only way it changes. So, to anyone out there running these lanes, remember, you are worth more than what these cheap loads are offering. Stand your ground. Say no to cheap freight. Believe me, I know the pressure. You're sitting away from your home in some states where the outbound freight doesn't pay much. You're waiting, your bills are stacking up, and then a broker throws you a load that barely covers your fuel. And then the thought goes through your mind, well, at least it will get me moving. But here's the truth. The load might move you, but it also move the entire market backwards. When enough of us take cheap freight, brokers see it. They think if one driver is running it for $1.20 a mile, maybe the next one will too. Then it becomes the new normal, and suddenly instead of rates going up with the fuel prices, they're going down because there are too many truckers saying yes to the cheap freight. Here is what I want you to think about. Your truck is your business, and your business has expenses like fuel, insurance, maintenance, tires, taxes, and so many more. If you're hauling freight for less than it costs to run that truck, you're not just working for free, you're also paying out of your own pocket to haul someone else's freight. And that makes zero sense. So, what we can do about it? Number one, know your cost per mile. Sit down, add up every expense that you have, fixed and variable, and figure out what it really costs you to move that truck 1 mile. For some of us, for example, that cost is $1.70, maybe $2 a mile. Once you know your exact cost, don't move your truck for less, period. Number two, never be afraid to deadhead. I've done it plenty of times. You might take a 200-mile bounce out of that state, but then you land in some other state where the freight pays double or more than what you were initially gonna haul. In the end, you come out ahead. Number three, patience. Sometimes the hardest move in trucking is to wait. It feels like you're losing money sitting, but in reality, you might be saving yourself from running a load that will hurt you bottom line. And finally, the most important thing that we need to do is we need to unite. If more of us stood together on this, Rates would have to go up. Brokers don't have the trucks, we do. They can't move the freight without us. If we collectively start saying no to cheap freight, they'll have no choice but to raise the rates. I'm not saying it's easy. I know every driver situation is different. Some of you might be new, some of you might be leased on, some might be paying high truck notes, but at the end of the day, we all have same problem. If we keep running for peanuts, the industry will never get better. So my message is simple and clear. Respect your time, respect your truck, and respect your business. Don't let cheap freight drag you down. We deserve better, but it starts with you saying no. I call on all the truckers out there who stressed about this country or trucking. Let's unite. Let's stop this nonsense. Let's say no to cheap freight. Always remember, it starts with you and you only. And that wraps up my day, from the morning shower and coffee to picking up at the sugar mill, scaling up, running through the Florida rain, grabbing some lunch at Petro, and Maine, we were talking about cheap freight and how to fix that problem. That was my day on the road. And now I'm going to stop at the TA in Marianna, Florida. If you enjoyed the ride, please hit the like button. It really helps for the channel. Please drop a comment if you've dealt with cheap freight or struggle to get the backhauls out of certain states like Florida, Georgia, or any other states. I would love to hear your stories. And if you're new here, please subscribe for more runs, trips, and tricks and some real trucking talk from the road. This is Wick with American Long Haul. Stay safe out there. I'll catch you in the next call. God bless you guys and peace out.